यूनानिमस सबको सपोर्ट लेके हो सकता है, देश के लिए काम कर सकते हैं.
Well, that is Mamata Banerjee there, making it very clear, not supporting Pranab Mukherjee, throwing up Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. 24 hours is a long time in Indian politics. And joining us now to discuss the implications of the twists and turns that we've seen today, RAJDEEP SARDESAI, the editor-in-chief of our sister channel CNN-IBN, and also ADITI PHADNIS from the Business Standard. RAJDEEP, ADITI, appreciate you joining us here on India Business Hour to make sense of the story. RAJDEEP, let me come to you first. 24 hours ago, we were talking about the many twists and turns and how political parties may in fact pull a rabbit out of the hat, but no one expected Manmohan Singh to be that rabbit.
That's right. I don't think even Manmohan Singh expected that he would be the rabbit. So much for the surprises that Indian politics throws up. Every day is a new day in Indian politics. I think really it's a bit of a red herring. The fact that Manmohan Singh's name has been thrown up in the manner it has by Mulayam Singh and Mamata Banerjee. It is true that there is a section of the Congress which feels that maybe Manmohan Singh should be the Rashtrapati. That's perhaps the right place for him at a time like this when his prime ministership has come under serious scrutiny. But PMO sources telling CNN-IBN that Dr. Manmohan Singh has no plans to quit just yet. And I don't think really Sonia Gandhi is going to push for Manmohan Singh as president at this stage. So I think it was done to, in a sense, send out the message by the allies to the Congress that, look, if you throw 2 names at us, we can throw 3 names at you. And among those names is the Prime Minister. At one level, it also indicates a lack of confidence in Dr. Manmohan Singh's leadership. If UPA allies say that, you know, we don't really want you as Prime Minister, you can be President, it raises serious questions over the Prime Minister's authority. And I think it is embarrassing at one level for Dr. Manmohan Singh. But I don't expect the Congress leadership and Sonia Gandhi to respond now to this by accepting Manmohan Singh as a potential consensus candidate. In fact, it's more likely that someone new might emerge in the next couple of days as a potential consensus or at least a front runner now for presidentship.
Okay, let me go across to Aditi PHADNIS. Aditi, you've been following this story very, very closely now. There was no consensus as far as Pranab Mukherjee is concerned for Mamata Banerjee. She had made it very clear that she didn't even believe Pranab Mukherjee was a son of Bengal, was a son of the soil in that sense. But Manmohan Singh, has this caught you off guard as well?
I think what is probably happening is partly what RAJDEEP is describing, which is that the allies want to prove that this is a total lame duck government. If you analyze the statements made by Sharad Pawar quite carefully, you will notice that Sharad Pawar has now recalibrated his position and is quoted in PTI as saying that there should be a consensus candidate. Earlier, his party and he was saying that it should be that we are going to back the Congress, that we don't have the numbers, we recognize that, and that's the reason they gave for not backing Sangma. Now he's saying there should be somebody who is a consensus candidate. Now clearly in this kind of a situation, a contest cannot be avoided. So if Pawar is saying that he wants a consensus candidate, it appears that he wants to become kingmaker. He also knows numerically that Mulayam Singh Yadav, Mamata Banerjee and Sharad Pawar together with DMK throwing its hat in the ring will represent an extremely embarrassing position for the Congress. So that is one part of it. The second part of it is that Manmohan Singh now becomes virtually the target of the UPA allies, that they have exactly what RAJDEEP is saying, that they have more or less said that he can be extracted out of the government and sent to, kicked upstairs, and they would really not mind that. So it will now become very difficult for Manmohan Singh to have any traction, if he had some in the first place, with the allies like Mamata Banerjee. The third thing is that
Aditi, I'll just come back to you in just a bit. I just want to pick up on that point that you were making and the point that RAJDEEP was making. RAJDEEP, you were pointing out that this is an embarrassment as far as the Prime Minister is concerned. Aditi echoing that sentiment. But even for Pranab Mukherjee, this is an embarrassment for Pranab Mukherjee as well. He hasn't, he hasn't gone public with it, but he's made it known that he wanted to see himself in Rashtrapati Bhavan. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories floating around. Do you believe the conspiracy theory that Sonia Gandhi used Mamata Banerjee to, in a sense, get Pranab out of the race?
I would think so. I think it's clear that Mamata has vetoed Pranab Mukherjee. She isn't saying it openly, but I think enough indications have been given by the fact that 3 fresh names were proposed by Mamata and Mulayam Singh and not that of Pranab Mukherjee. I think Sonia Gandhi, by saying Pranab Mukherjee was her first choice, has tried to appease Pranab Mukherjee, but clearly Mr. Mukherjee was looking forward to a possible shift to Rashtrapati Bhavan, and I think his hopes here have been clearly dashed by the way Mamata Banerjee has played her politics. I don't see Pranab Mukherjee's name now re-emerging as a presidential candidate, and really that leaves open the question, will he stay on as finance minister? What role can he then take on? Can he be deputy prime minister? Clearly Pranab Mukherjee also has suffered some degree of embarrassment by the manner in which Mamata Banerjee has got her back at him by almost publicly rejecting him without quite saying so.
Aditi Phadnis, I want you to comment on this, because Prime Minister's office sources suggesting at this point in time that there's no question of the Prime Minister being in the race for the Rashtrapati Bhavan. But what does this really do now to Pranab Mukherjee? I mean, it is an embarrassing situation for Pranab Mukherjee, even though we heard from Mamata Banerjee that Sonia Gandhi said Pranab Mukherjee was the #1 choice as far as the Congress was concerned. But now that you're talking about Sharad Pawar also wanting to play kingmaker and this business of a consensus candidate, what now for Pranab Mukherjee? Is he out of the race?
No, I don't think you can say categorically that he's out of the race. Although according to Congress, he was never in the race because only he is the one who has said that he's in the race. But equally, I think we have to understand that whatever is the outcome of this presidential election, we should be prepared as a nation to face Lok Sabha elections in the next couple of months, because this is not going to be tenable at all. It's just too unstable. The locus of equilibrium has shifted, and it's just too difficult now with all the established shibboleths having been destroyed for the government to be workable for any length of time.
So Aditi Phadnis, you're saying a midterm election is now inevitable. It's just a question of time.
I think it will be now the forces that have been unleashed by this presidential election will work towards a midterm election.
Okay, RAJDEEP, SARDESAI, ADITI Phadnis suggesting a midterm election is in inevitability now, but what has all of this boiled down to? Is it now down to Somnath versus Hamid Ansari versus Meera Kumar versus Gopal Gandhi and versus APJ Abdul Kalam? We understand that he may perhaps be holding a press conference tomorrow. Do you expect the Congress now to maintain silence till the Prime Minister returns after the G20 meeting? They have until the 30th before the nomination process is officially over. Do you expect silence at least till the 23rd?
You know, we are a country of 1.25 billion people, half of whom might want to be in Rashtrapati Bhavan as a convenient retirement home. You never know where the next name will come from. Remember what happened in 2007? Last minute Pratibha Patil's name comes out. Yes, the Prime Minister leaves in a couple of days, I think on the 15th morning for Mexico. I don't see anything being settled before the 15th, which means it gets pushed to beyond the 23rd. The last date is the 30th of June, and knowing the Congress expects something only to happen in the last couple of days, I think given all that has happened in the last 24 hours, I think every side will now take a breather, pause, maybe hold meetings now only after the 20th and look for, if not a consensus, then at least someone who's acceptable to the largest number of people. And I think that isn't going to be an easy process, but the Congress has to go through that painful process, because the last thing they can afford is a defeat in this presidential poll. A defeat in the presidential poll would signal a midterm election. The BJP will be licking its lips, enjoying the discomfiture of the Congress. A candidate like Kalam is someone they would leap on, perhaps look for Mamata and Mayawati and Mulayam support on that. But I think in the end, I expect a dark horse now to emerge in this race, whoever that be, and that will only happen perhaps after the 23rd.
A dark horse could possibly emerge. We've already got plenty of names doing the round. Aditi Phadnis, are all bets off at this point in time? And do you also anticipate that we're perhaps going to see the Congress try and strategize its move, considering the fact that it's been completely taken aback by what's happened this evening? So perhaps silence till at least the 23rd?
Well, I think there will be radio silence till the 23rd, but obviously the Congress will be strategizing even as we speak. But the question is, I think this crisis and the way it's handled will tell us the leadership strategies of the Congress in the future, because this is a first-class crisis. And everybody, chief ministers I have spoken to, others are completely thrown by this. So now either you have to stand by a person whose name you had internally floated. I mean, the political advisor to the Prime Minister, to the Congress President and others had floated and endorsed Pranab Mukherjee's name. So either you have to stand by that and make sure your candidate wins, despite UPA allies rebelling, or you have to give in to them and then you have to do deals, in which case we don't know what will happen.
Aditi, PHADNIS, my final question to you. If it were to happen that they would pull the rug from underneath Pranab Mukherjee's feet, the last thing the country and this economy needs is a disgruntled finance minister.
Well, I don't think Pranab Mukherjee will then continue. I mean, I don't think the Congress will want him to be the finance minister anymore. The fact that he may become deputy prime minister with some other portfolio has been doing the rounds for a while. So that's a possibility.
Would you put your money on Pranab Mukherjee as deputy prime minister if he doesn't make it to Rashtrapati Bhavan?
I think he will be elevated, because I don't think the Congress would like to see him publicly humiliated the way the way it has happened now.
Aditi, PHADNIS, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. RAJDEEP, SARDESAI, I appreciate you joining us here in